Are your words secretly killing her attraction? Most men make these three mistakes in communication and they don't even realize it. Stick around. I'll show you how to fix them and instantly change the dynamic in your relationship. We're going live.
We'll do it live.
This is the Come On Man podcast. And here's your host, Paul Bauer.
What's going on, guys? Happy hump day. Happy hump day. Trump's back in office. How does that make you feel? Let me know in the comments. Do you like Trump? Do you hate Trump? Let me know how you feel about that in the comments. If you are new to the channel, my name is Paul Bauer, and I help men level up and get better with women. And the funny thing about doing that is it tends to make us better in all areas of our lives. Today, we are going over chapter 3 in my new book, Get Her to F You Again, which is available on Amazon and Audible, if you guys haven't checked that out yet. And chapter 3 is all about communication techniques that work. Now, you will hear marriage counselors and blue-pilled relationship coaches say that communication is the key to a healthy relationship. And that's false. Genuine desire is the key to a healthy relationship. Okay. Communication is the key to conflict resolution. That being said, if there is conflict in your relationship, then you need to learn these communication skills. Okay. And these will resolve you need to learn these communication skills so that you can resolve these arguments or whatever to your satisfaction. Okay. So it is important. It has its place. You can't just stonewall her forever. All right. All right. Before we get into it, do like, subscribe, hit those notifications. I do have new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Don't you know? And sound off in the chat if you are watching live right now. Now, next week, Nurse Chick and I are going out of town. We are going down to Florida. We're going to go on the Jericho cruise. And so I have 2 of those episodes recorded already, and they're already scheduled. And then I'm going to record 2 more this weekend. And then we're going to have episodes. We're going to have episodes even when I'm out of town. Okay. Because no excuses, baby. No excuses. But yeah, sound off in the comments if you guys are watching live right now. If you guys are watching the replay, drop a comment below. It doesn't matter. It could be an emoji. It doesn't matter. Just as long as you let us know that you saw the video, and then that lets YouTube know that people are watching, and it helps boost us in the algorithm. And then, guys, consider sending a super chat, especially if you find this information helpful. I posted on social media yesterday that I have a new super chat video. Okay. So a lot of you guys who tune in every episode, or at least once a week or so, you guys know that if you send a $10 super chat, you get the bouncing tatas video. Okay. If you send a $20 super chat, you get the bouncing or the shaking booty video. All right. Now, if you send a $30 super chat, for you filthy, dirty bastards, there's a $30 super chat video, which F around and find out today, guys. Okay, F around and find out. Yeah, I was inspired by a comment one of the Beer Club brothers made Beer Club chat, and it's not like the first time I saw something like that in Beer Club, and I was like, we got to make a video for you guys, for you dirty, filthy, freaky dudes. Okay, so F around and find out. And the law still applies. If you're a Beer Club brother, you automatically get bumped up to the next tier. Okay, so if you send over $20 as a Beer Club brother, you get to see the video today. Okay. Nurse Chick saw that. She was like, I'm curious about this video. I might F around and find out. I was like, all right. I mean, if you want to, hon, but it's really for those dirty, creepy, weird dudes out there. But you guys F around and find out, man. Seriously, F around. Oh, hey. We got a whole bunch of people in the chat. Nurse Chick says, good morning, gentlemen. Happy hump day. Ray's in the house. He's a new Beer Club brother. What's up, man? Good to see you here. Ed's in the house. Welcome aboard. Oh, Shreddy Eddie, man. This guy's a legend. He's a legend. If you listen carefully, off in the distance, you can still hear the clanging of the weights. Kamal's in the house. Some people suffering hard from Trump derangement syndrome. I've been seeing some of those videos lately. And then the plumber speaks, says, I'm cautiously optimistic about Trump. He's actually more lefty than JFK was. I hope he realizes that he's been aligned with those that hurt him in recent history. We will see. Erquin says, so we're doing it live coming day. Yeah, the opening's still going to say we're doing it live, but they're not live. Oh, what's this one? I'm afraid if someone says 40, it'll be P-Hub videos. Well, we can't go that far because we are on YouTube. We can't be adults on YouTube. But F around and find out. I dare you guys. All right. So we're talking about chapter 3 in Get Her to F You Again. And it's all about communication tactics that work. And it's funny. Some of the reviews on Amazon, they say that the book is very repetitive, and it is, and it's by design. I really beat these concepts into the reader because by the end of it, I want it to seep into the subconscious mind, right? I really want these concepts to be a part of who you are. And so one of those concepts starts off in this chapter, and it's the deering trap, right? What's deering? Deering comes, oh God. Oh, Ed did it. Okay, hold on. We'll get to it in a second, Ed. Deering comes from No More Mr. Nice Guy, right? It's a term coined by Dr. Robert Glover, and it stands for defend, explain, excuse, rationalize. Okay, basically, if your wife complains about something you're doing, like our knee-jerk reaction is to try to justify why we do what we do. Okay. But when we do that, it signals weakness and insecurity. Okay. And women, they are biologically hardwired to be attracted to strength, right? They respond to strength, and they seek security. And a part of that security is a man's strength. Okay. But if you're constantly defending yourself, explaining yourself, making excuses, rationalizing why you do what you do, she looks at you like you're weak. Okay. So that kills attraction when you do that. And that behavior, it stems from a need to avoid conflict and seek approval. Right. So a lot of guys are they're doing anything to get their peace. I need my peace. Right. So they're trying to squash any kind of tension in the relationship. But by doing that, you're diminishing respect and attraction. Right. And so over time, that attraction just erodes as she just sees you as a weak man that is groveling to her, and that's how she looks at it. Right. So avoiding deering ensures that you maintain your masculine frame and you communicate from a place of strength. Like, you don't have to explain yourself. And one of the mental models I teach my coaching clients is the king doesn't have to explain himself to the subjects. Right. It sounds toxic, but it's a good mental model to have. You don't have to explain yourself to her. Okay. You don't have to. She can complain. You can listen to her complaints, but you don't have to explain why you do what you do, So then that brings us to the next concept here, which is confidence in communication. Hold on a second. I'm feeling a sneeze coming on. I'm feeling it. There it is. Okay. Confidence in communication. Confidence is demonstrated through clear, concise communication that avoids seeking validation. So being direct, being clear in your words, not having anger in your tone, insecurity in your tone, like all that kind of stuff signals confidence, right? And women also respond very well to confidence. A confident man owns his actions and decisions without needing to justify or over-explain them. Okay. And even if you make a mistake, a lot of guys like overly apologize, all that kind of stuff. All that makes you look weak. Okay. You don't have to overly apologize. Even if you do make a mistake, like it's okay to just say, my bad. Mistakes were made. Right. Or, you can say, oh, I apologize. I'll do this going forward. Right. Like, that's okay. But a lot of guys are like, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, please forgive me. You know, all that kind of stuff makes you look weak as hell. Right. Confidence fosters attraction by showing that you are secure in your values and your leadership. Right. So all that, so by not overly explaining yourself, you're automatically going to sort of project more confidence in the way you talk. Okay. All right, here we go. Brother Ed said $20 super chat. And because he is a Beer Club brother, he automatically gets bumped up to the next tier. And he says, let's go. All right, you guys want to see this? You creepy, dirty, filthy bastards.
Ladies rocking sandals, got them smiling all the while. Painted toes and heels, they make me weak. Feeling that funk groove, can't hardly speak. Ooh, yeah. To the ones who shout out, super chat on my screen. You keep the party rolling, you know what I mean. Thank you for supporting, keeping it real neat. We vibing together from our heads to our feet.
You guys are so dirty, man. I was like, you guys, these guys, there's some of these guys, they're really into the dogs, man. They're into them grippers, them grippers. Oh God. All right. Let's see here. Plumber Speak says, I found there was no point in explaining because she really didn't care in the first place. Yeah. No point in doing it. Yeah, look at this. I knew someone was gonna walk in and go, what the hell? What? I think I came in at the wrong time. Well, not if you're one of those creepy gripper fetish guys. Oh, the guys are really into them grippers. All right. Yes, CW. Yeah. Did you see the comment in Beer Club the other day where the guy was talking about sucking on a girl's toes? I was like, that's it. I got a $30 super chat. And if you guys are really creepy, you're gonna pay for that one. Oh, hell. Yeah, we're going to hell in a handbasket, guys. Guys, follow me on social media. The links are in the description. I'm on all the good platforms. Follow me. Get on the email list.comeonmanpod.com. Get the ebook, She's Made You Weak. One of the biggest reasons why I even have this as an offer is because I can't control the social media platforms or even YouTube, right? YouTube is basically social media. I can't control the platforms that I'm on because I don't own them, right? And so I could get banned at any time. Those platforms could get banned at any time. I mean, TikTok, Trump gave them an extra 75 days to get their shit in order, right? But that might go away. So if you found me through TikTok and all of a sudden the app goes away and you're not following me anywhere else, like at least get on the email list so I can tell you, hey, here are other ways to follow me, right? But She's Made You Weak is really good. It talks about the betaization process and why attraction erodes over time. And if you really want to go into depth on that, do get my new book, we're past the 8-minute mark, Get Her to Fuck You Again, which is available on Amazon and Audible.
Are you tired of the dead bedroom? Wondering what happened to the passion, the connection, and the spark? Well, here's your answer. Introducing Get Her to Fuck You Again, a red pill guide to fix a dead bedroom, now on Amazon. This isn't about manipulation or tricks. It's about real strategies that work. If your wife has stopped being intimate with you, it's not because the love is gone. It's because the attraction is gone. And that's fixable. This book will teach you the skills to lead your marriage, rebuild your confidence, and become the man she can't stop thinking about. 3 reasons to get this book. 1. It breaks the cycle. You'll learn how to stop doing the same things that are killing her attraction and start doing the things that reignite it. 2. It's practical and proven. With clear, actionable steps, you'll build yourself into the man you were always meant to be. 3. It works for men like you. Paul Bauer has helped hundreds of men just like you fix their dead bedrooms. And now, it's your turn. Don't let another day go by feeling frustrated and disconnected. Go to Amazon right now and buy Get Her to Fuck You Again. Read it, apply it, and watch your marriage transform. The connection isn't gone forever. You just need the roadmap to get it back. And this book is it.
Nurse Chick says, well, I'm glad I didn't pony up $30. And then toe suckers just get athlete's mouth. Erkin says, feet for 30, not even legs. Oh, you think legs are 30 and then feet are 40? Like, what do you think? What's the price structure here on the body parts? I don't know. Guys, smashing like is alpha. All right. All right. The next concept here is emotional control in conversations. Okay. This is really hard for guys. This is hard. And which is funny because we're supposed to be the rational ones, right? And women are supposed to be the emotional creatures, but women know how to push our buttons and get us up in our feels and get us pissed off and how to offend us and, hurt our egos and all that kind of stuff. Right. And so having, the ability to stay centered during your conversations with her and being the adult in the conversation is hard for guys. So emotional control, it means not reacting defensively or impulsively during challenging discussions. Okay. And your wife, your girlfriend, if you guys have been together for a while, she knows exactly what to say to piss you off. She knows exactly what to say. And a lot of women take advantage of that. Right. Well, being able to stay centered and not get up in your feels, it's a superpower, right? Because if she can't get you up in your emotions, that actually makes her more attracted to you because she feels more safe and secure when you're not in your feels. She's like, oh, I can't get my way with this guy. I can't get him up in his emotions. Whatever emotional crap I'm going through, it doesn't impact him. And that makes her feel safe and secure, right? So women are drawn to men who remain composed and steady under pressure, right? They're biologically hardwired to respond well to that. So if you can learn that, that's actually going to boost her attraction to you, okay? So maintaining emotional control, it demonstrates reliability and enhances trust in the relationship. Okay. Oh, CW says, what? That was way anticlimactic. Legs would have been way better. Fair enough. He sent a $5 super chat, and he's a beer club brother, so he gets the bouncing blubs.
Thank you for the super chats. Boobies bouncing, can't stop that. From the east to the west, you are the best. Keep those chats coming in, let's do it all again.
Dude, I think, those foot fetish guys are creepy enough that they're gonna pay. They're gonna pay for that. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, no, that's worth it. That was worth those wiggling piggies or whatever. Have you ever seen those guys in the comments of some of these videos? It's just like, wow, bro, you're just putting yourself out there like that. Okay, all right, you're into what you're into, but whatever. All right, so the next one here is the LUCA model of communication, which shout out to Paul Benjamin from Apex Mindset. He's the one that came up with the LUCA acronym. And I learned it from him. And he's been on the podcast before to talk about it. I talk about it all the time. It's genius. If you guys ever do a search on YouTube, do a search for how you can basically do everything wrong and get away with it. With the LUCA model. And Paul Benjamin did an episode on that one. But it's such a good communication sort of model that I wanted to immortalize it in a book. And so it's in this book. And so it stands for listen, understand, clarity, action, right? LUCA. And one of the things I say in the book is never dear, always LUCA. Okay. Just remember that. Never dear, always LUCA. So listen, that means actively listening to your woman without interrupting or rushing to fix the issue, right? Most women don't want the issue fixed at the end of the day anyway. They just want to emote, right? And so your job as a man is to just listen and then try to understand where she's coming from. That's your only job. You don't have to fix anything. It's actually pretty freeing when you realize you don't have to fix shit. You just, oh, okay. Okay, let's listen to what she's got to say now. Okay. And then be an active participant in the conversation. Don't just be thinking about what you're going to wear tomorrow or how you're going to solve some problem at work. Like, actually just be present in the moment and listen to what she's saying. Okay. Understand. So reflect back on her emotions and reflect back her emotions and show empathy to build connection. What does that mean? What's reflect back her emotions? That means she says, she feels a certain way or whatever. So you reply back with that, right? You go, oh, so let me get this straight. When such and such happened, you felt this way. Do I understand that? Right? You're just replaying it back to her, letting her know that you're hearing where she's coming from, right? And then showing empathy, it doesn't mean like you necessarily agree with why she feels that way. Like, she could be totally wrong for feeling how she feels, right? In your opinion, she could be totally wrong for that, but she feels how she feels. Okay. You can't change that. So basically all you're doing is just trying to understand why she feels the way she feels, even if you think it's stupid. Don't tell her, I think it's stupid that you feel that way. Just, okay, I can see why you would feel that way. I see where you're coming from. Clarity. Ask questions to ensure mutual understanding and prevent miscommunication. So that really goes hand in hand with the understanding part, right? Because if you don't understand where she's coming from, you got to ask clarifying questions to make sure you're on the same page. And if you got it wrong, she'll tell you, no, that's not why I feel this way. Okay, well, why do you feel that way again? Because I'm not clear on this, right? So you're trying to seek clarity. And then action. This is where you would take an action to solve the problem if it's necessary, right? If there's something for you to do in the circumstance, like let's say she has a grievance that you aren't doing whatever she thinks that you should be doing. Okay. Sometimes your wife or your girlfriend has a point, right? Maybe there is something that you're slacking on. Okay. So your action step here is, okay, let me get this straight. Blah, 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 blah. You think this, you feel this way. Okay. Well, I think what I'll do going forward is to prevent this is to do X, Y, and Z. Okay. So you come up with the action step. This is you leading, you taking the lead. Okay. Now, sometimes the only action is you just need to listen. Okay. So sometimes it's nothing that you can do or that you should do, right? It's she just wants to get something off her chest. It might not even be about you. It might be that bitch Becky from accounting that's always giving her shit at work, right? Like, fuck that bitch, right? There's always one bitch. There's always that one bitch that your wife or your girlfriend fucking hates at work, right? There's always that one bitch. Sometimes she just wants to bitch about Becky, right? Well, when in doubt, just ask her, hey, do you want my advice or do you just want me to listen, right? Shout out to Corey Wayne. Learned that from him. It's not about the nail. Exactly right. Exactly right, plumber. Not about the nail. I send that video to my clients a lot. I'm like, have you seen that video? And a lot of them are like, no, I don't think so. I'm like, check out this video. This is exactly what I'm talking about here. It's the dumbest fucking thing ever. A woman literally has a nail in her head. And she's like, I just feel this pain and this agony. And the guy's like, well, there's a clear solution here. She's like, why are you always trying to fix everything? Because women don't want anything fixed. They just want to piss and moan. And we think it's dumb as hell. By the way, I didn't give Nurse Chick, she says, I didn't give Nurse Chick her sound drop. This is her sound drop.
So naughty.
I'm going to come.
Yeah. Okay. Guys, getting beer club. We just got a new member from Romania in like early this morning. It's fucking awesome. But getting beer club. Great group of dudes. We now have some like 3 dudes over in Europe now that are joining the group. Like, we're eventually going to have like an early morning beer club hangout for those guys, because we always have beer club hangouts at 7 p.m. Eastern time on Thursdays. It's like those guys can't make it because that's what, like, I don't know, 2 a.m. for them. I don't know. So if we have more European guys, we're gonna have to start doing early morning hangouts where we have coffee or something, and those guys are having beers. I don't know how we're gonna do that, but brother Kamal is in beer club, and he was thinking about hosting, so he can host some early in the morning sometime if you guys want to do that. But we need more guys, more international guys. We have at least one guy up. No, we have a couple of guys up in Canada. We have one guy down in Australia, and now we have like 3 guys over in the EU, or the former EU now, for our brothers in England. So yeah, it would be good. But anyway, it's a good group of dudes. We're international. Just guys get together, talk about guys stuff, swapping notes, holding each other accountable, leveling up in all areas of our lives. There's one guy I was chatting with on Instagram. He's telling me that with his next paycheck, he's going to join the beer club. He's going through a divorce. And I was like, great. It's like, if you're already past the point of no return and you're going through a breakup or a divorce, like, it's a perfect place to get in the group and start talking with guys that have been there to help you. It'll help you get through it. Okay. So go to beer.comeonmanpod.com for that. And then if you guys are trying to avoid divorce, okay, if your relationship's on the rocks and you want to turn things around, book a free call with me. Go to call.fixdeadbedrooms.com. All right. Where are we at here? Okay. So the next concept in this chapter from Get Her to Fuck You Again is leadership and communication, right? So you want to, if by taking this LUCA model, right, by having control of your emotions, you're going to be setting the tone and leading these conversations. Okay. So you want to lead these conversations with clear direction, showing decisiveness and emotional steadiness. That's where LUCA comes into play, because it will help you keep things on track and not get derailed into like stupid arguments that don't help anything. Right. All these guys are like, man, how do I get my wife to stop arguing with me all the time? The LUCA model. The LUCA model. This is, if you learn this and you make this a part of how you communicate with your girl, you'll never have an argument. Never. Paul, that sounds too good to be true. It's all on you, man. It's up to you, right? If you want your peace, this is how you do it. Okay. Your wife's never going to bring you peace. Your girl's never going to bring you peace. They will only bring you drama. So if you want your peace, you have to create it. And you do that by leading the conversation in a way that will give you peace. Okay. So you're going to avoid letting your woman dominate conversations. You're going to guide the tone and topics constructively. Now, if she starts getting disrespectful in the conversations, you're going to shut that down. You're like, hey, no, we're not talking to each other that way. Let's get back on track here. I'm trying to understand where you're coming from. Right? That's you leading from a position of authority. Okay. If she just will not do that, then be like, okay, well, we're not going to discuss this right now. I'm going to take off. And when you can talk to me like an adult, we can finish this and leave. Okay. Right. It's like, you've got to be able to set boundaries and enforce them and do what you say you're going to do. You know what I mean? But eventually you're going to train her. Paul, did you say train her like a dog? Yes. You're going to train her like a dog. Okay. And you're going to train her to have more respectful conversations with you. And you're going to do this by setting the tone and leading the conversations. Okay. You're the boss. Okay. So leadership in communication strengthens your masculine frame and reassures her of your stability. Yeah. Because all this kind of stuff is going to provide structure. See, women don't provide structure. Women, the feminine, right? Feminine energy, it's chaos. It's chaotic. So she needs you to be in your masculine to provide that structure, and that will make her feel more safe and secure. You understand? The next concept here is tactical empathy, right? So one of the things this is another thing I learned from Paul Benjamin, but men are actually very good at empathy. We're really good at understanding the opposition, right? And that comes from, years and years of wartime situations that men have had to deal with, battle situations, knowing the enemy, right? Being strategic, that kind of thing. You could actually apply this to a relationship and like understand where your girl's coming from and be able to be more strategic in conversations and stuff like that, right? So you're going to acknowledge her emotions without becoming emotionally reactive or compromising your frame. Okay. So this is where the tactical comes in, because you might your knee-jerk reaction might be to get it up into your feels. but you're acting strategically here because there's an objective. The objective is to end the conversation to your satisfaction, right? So you do this by being a little more tactical in employing some empathy and understand where she's coming from, okay? And realizing that, she doesn't want the problem fixed, right? So you got to show understanding of her feelings while maintaining your position as the leader. And then that tactile empathy, it builds trust and emotional connection without diminishing the attraction. And the reason why is because you're not getting into your emotions and you are setting the tone and leading and providing that structure. Right? Right. Okay, cool. Cool. Let's see here. All right, cool. Mr. Justin, yes. Maintenance spankings prevent arguments. Indeed, sir. Indeed. Oh, Kamal says, just last weekend I used LUCA again. Awesome. Yeah. Dude, it works, man. It's so good. And if you are a 3%, like Kamal here, Kamal's not just a beer club brother. He's like an OG 3% man club brother, 3% brother. And he was, if you've ever studied Corey Wayne's How to Be a 3% Man, near the end in the relationship management stuff of his book, he talks about just listening to your girl, right? And not trying to solve her problems. It's essentially the LUCA model. That's essentially what it is, right? The next concept here is the 3 T's. This is something I learned from Dr. Robert Glover from Dating Essentials for Men. But the 3 T's, when you're talking to your girl, you want to implement the 3 T's. Tease, touch, and tell. Okay. What is teasing? Teasing is using playful humor to keep interactions light and to build emotional tension. Like if she is like being snippy with you or being bossy, like I have a couple of clients right now where their wives like bark orders at them, right? And so one of the things I tell them is, playfully tease her about that, because that teasing builds heat, healthy emotional anticipation and tension. You teasing her shows that you're not taking her seriously and you're actually lightening the mood by making things funny and humorous, right? And women actually respond very well to that playful banter. Okay. That actually boosts attraction pretty well. That's why agree and amplify works so well when doing shit tests, right? Agree and amplify is basically you're taking whatever she's doing and using fucking emotional verbal judo on her and turning it into playful banter, right? Touch, right? Breaking that touch barrier. That introduce subtle physical contact to create intimacy and escalate attraction. Like when you're talking to her, put your hand on her shoulder, right? When you open a door for her, put your hand on her lower back and escort her through the door. Okay. Like nurse chick she sits right next to me on the couch. Right. And I love it. She sits right next to me on the couch. She puts her legs over mine and I put my hand on her thigh and stuff like that. Like we're constantly breaking that touch barrier all throughout the day. I hold hands with her when we sit at restaurants, we sit next to each other so that I can touch her leg. I can, whatever. But all that touch is basically kino escalation, right? That creates healthy emotional anticipation and tension too. And a lot of people don't realize it, but that's subtext, right? That's you're speaking with body gestures. Women really take note of the subtext. They're not always just listening to words coming out of your mouth. Okay. So touching her periodically, even if it's like non-sexual, right? Like, touching her upper arm, like her elbow and stuff like that. All that kind of stuff. It breaks the touch barrier. That creates connection, builds attraction. And then what is it? Maintenance spankings, right? So one thing too is I always am making it a habit of slapping nurse chick's ass. Always slapping that ass, grabbing that ass. Okay. When I first met nurse chick, I thought I was going to get catfish and I thought it was going to be a practice date. Right. So I had zero expectation of outcome when I went on that date. And when she walks into the Starbucks we were meeting at, and she's wearing these like real skin tight like jeans that she was wearing, and it made her ass just look like pow. And I was like, fuck, like this is the real deal. Okay, this is game time. Okay, so ever since then, show appreciation for that ass by slapping it. Okay, then and then tell. Okay, use confident and direct communication to lead interactions without being overbearing. Basically, you tell her what to do. Okay, you don't ask her what to do. You tell her what to do. Okay, and you don't do this in like a dickhead way, right? It's very subtle, but you just tell her stuff, right? So one thing I'm teaching my son this, and it's so funny having a son, because they think they know everything. They think especially when they're teenagers, they think they fucking know everything. But there's a reason why I wrote a book called this is the old cover. Here's the new cover. There's a reason why I wrote Everything I Wish I Knew when I was 18. Because I legit wish someone would have fucking told me half this shit when I was 18. Well, my son is almost 16 now, so I'm telling him some of the stuff. And there's this junior, right? He's a sophomore, and there's this hot junior that likes him, right? Someone told him that she likes him, so he reaches out to her on Snapchat and all this kind of stuff, and he wants to ask her out to. There's a dance coming up, some kind of like snowball dance at the school. And he wants to ask her out. And so he gets this big plan of like making a big poster board with like candies on it and then also giving her flowers and all this kind of stuff just to ask her to the fucking dance, right? And I was like, you don't need all that shit. Like, fuck that, dude. Stop, dude. He's like, well, everyone else is doing that. I'm like, exactly. Everyone else is doing that. You not doing that is going to set you apart, right? Because all these other guys are trying to qualify themselves to these girls. Like, you don't need to do that. You're better than that. And so I start all of a sudden you can just see this light bulb go off in his head as I start explaining like women's hypergamous nature and like why they tend to get with the assholes and guys who do none of those things, right? It's because like women respond to a certain type of guy. And so I'm explaining this stuff to him, and all of a sudden he's like, oh, well, shit. Like, I wish I didn't get that poster board, And I go, well, just use it for a project down the road. You're always going to need a poster board somewhere in high school. I go, but this is how you do it, right? I'm like, just ask her if anyone's asked her to the dance yet, right? And when she says no, just be like, go with me. Tell her, don't ask her, say, go with me. And so he's like, oh, okay. He's like, that won't work. And I'm like, no, it'll work. It'll work because it shows confidence. If you tell her, go with me, it's bold and confident. It basically it's basically sub-communicating to her that that you're good enough. You don't have to prove anything, right? So now the trick is getting that kid his confidence up enough to go and actually pull the trigger there. So I was giving him the rah-rah speech this morning on the way to school. I was telling him, I was like, have you asked her yet? He's like, oh no, well, I didn't really see her yesterday. And I'm like, you got to do it today, man. You got to do it today. And I was telling him how back in high school, there was this girl that I had I had my eye on, and she and I would talk like every day. We were in this like Greek philosophy class or some shit. I can't remember. And it's this chick, like, if you guys ever watch Billy Madison, you ever watch Billy Madison or the first Mortal Kombat movie, the blonde actress that's in both those movies, she played Veronica Vaughn or whatever, the hot high school teacher. Well, this chick looked very much like her, except she had shorter, curlier hair, but she still looked cute. And I remember telling my buddies, like, yeah, I think she's cute. I would totally date her. And one of my asshole friends went and told her about it. And so it turns out she was very receptive. And I was like, oh shit. The thing was, like, I didn't have a car at the time, but she drove because I wasn't 16 yet. So I always felt insecure. So I never really pulled that trigger. Well, that eventually you wait too long, the fucking ship sails, right? So I was telling him about that this morning. I go, this chick, like, she was into me. Like, you could tell, like, once she found out that I liked her, she was all around me. She was all like, she would put herself in my orbit. Right. And if I knew then what I know now, right, I would have pulled the trigger. but I didn't. So I told him, I go, don't fucking wait around, dude. That's how guys end up in the friend zone, because they won't have the balls to ask a chick out. And so she just goes, oh, well, he's nice to me. I think I'm going to make him a friend. Right. I think he's just treating me like a friend. I think, I'm going to start thinking of him as a friend. And that's how guys end up in the friend zone, because they don't have the balls to pull the fucking trigger. So I said, you go fucking talk to her today. Okay. And I go, one of two things is going to happen. She's either going to say, I'd love to go to the dance with you, or something to that effect. Or she's going to say, oh, no, I can't go, or no, whatever, some version of no, right? And I go, either way, I was like, even if she says no, like your heart's going to be pounding. You're going to have this adrenaline rush, because it takes balls to ask a girl out. I go, you're going to feel good about yourself. You're going to be like, I fucking did it. I fucking did that shit. Even if she says no, I was like, so just fucking go do it today, right? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I have some legacy date coaching clients that have the same problem, and they're like in their fucking 30s, right? They can't ask a girl out. It's like, dude, fucking just do it. All right. The next concept here is subcommunication, not verbal cues, which we've sort of hinted at already. Subcommunication is so important. One of the things I learned in Atomic Attraction, even Corey Wayne talks about it in 3% Man, is like the importance of body language, right? But in Atomic Attraction specifically, Christopher Canwell talks about how they did studies where they had men and women watching videos with the sound off, right? And something like 70% of women could tell exactly what was happening in those videos just by watching people's body language. Okay, because women are very perceptive to this. And only something like 10% of guys knew what was going on. Guys are clueless to this kind of shit, right? But knowing that women are paying attention to your body language, you can learn to use more attractive body language. One of the things I talk about is eye contact. Okay, eye contact. I talk about posture, the tone of your voice, all that kind of stuff that conveys confidence and dominance beyond words. And what I talk about a lot in the book is using the left eye trick, right? I talk about it in the first book too, but focusing on this eye, right? The left eye. When you're making eye contact with her, focus on this eye, like as you're looking at me in the, on the screen, this eye, because everyone's like, my left eye or her left eye? Her left eye. Okay. That's connected to the right part of her brain that builds an emotional connection with her. It builds rapport just doing that. Mirroring her body language subtly, right? That fosters unconscious rapport and emotional alignment. So if she tilts her head this way, you wait a couple seconds and then you tilt your head that way, right? She crosses her legs, you wait a few minutes, you put your leg up, right? It's the same kind of thing. You're basically mirroring what her body says. Now, this is a NLP technique also. You learn this in NLP, but the idea is that people like people who are like them. So if you're matching her body language, that subconsciously shows her that you and her are in alignment, right? And that will build rapport. That actually builds attraction. And all that subcommunication is crucial for creating that heat, right? The healthy emotional anticipation and tension. The next concept here is avoiding neediness, right? Women can smell neediness like sharks smell blood. So neediness stems from seeking reassurance or approval, which signals insecurity. Nurse Chick and I, we watched this movie the other day called The Big Hit. It's one of Mark Wahlberg's first movies ever. He plays it's kind of a action comedy. It's kind of all over the place, but he plays a hitman, and then this hit squad that he's with, they decide to kidnap this millionaire's daughter. And it turns out the millionaire's daughter is the goddaughter of their boss. And he puts out a hit on whatever. It's kind of a silly movie, but in that movie, Mark Wahlberg's character, he's got a fiance, he's got a girlfriend that's using him for his money. And then he also has this kidnapped girl that he starts falling in love with, right? And he's such a nice guy in the movie. that they're taking advantage of him. And one of his things that's giving him an ulcer is that he can't stand the thought of his girlfriend who's using him for his money not liking him, right? He can't stand the thought of people in general not liking him. Well, if you're that guy, you're going to come across as needy and insecure because you're going to be constantly seeking everyone's approval. You're going to want them to tell you that you're doing a good job, that you're a good boy, that they love you. If you're always like, I need my wife to tell me that she loves me, I need her to do that, or I want her to initiate sex with me because I want to feel like she wants me. That's all needy, approval seeking behavior. It shows that you're insecure, right? And that women can sense that, and it is unattractive behavior. Confident communication focuses on leading interactions without appearing desperate, right? Because by not deering, right, that you're not seeking approval. Like deering, trying to explain yourself, trying to rationalize why you do what you're doing, you're unconsciously trying to get her approval. Like you want to get her blessing that what your reasoning is good for her. You don't have to explain yourself, okay? And by just having that idea of like, I don't have to explain myself to you, that comes across more confident. Like women can sense that confidence in you that, oh, he doesn't need my approval. God, I want to ride his cock now, right? Like that. That's how women respond to that sort of thing. So by avoiding neediness, you maintain attraction and strength, and then you strengthen your masculine presence. Okay. Cool. What's Mr. Just say? That's true, but it's often better when her sexual desire is stronger. It is better. Yeah. Well, yeah, because if you do all this stuff, right? She's going to see you as better than her, right? Which is using hypergamy to your advantage. And then she's going to want that validational sex, right? That's that validational sex because she's like, I've got to keep this guy around, right? And women instinctually know how to keep a man, right? Don't be a bitch. Don't be fat. Fuck his brains out. And so it's like when they see you as their best hypergamous option, they're going to want that sexual desire, or they're going to have that sexual desire more. So it all works to your advantage, But I agree. Mr. Justin. If you guys don't know, Mr. Justin, he's got a really good channel. He talks a lot about like sexual dominance and stuff like that. If you guys want to learn more about that, definitely subscribe to his channel. I know him because he's a dragon member. Reframing conflict. This is the last concept here. Conflict. One of the things I talk about in the book is conflict is an opportunity. You're like, what, Paul? Like, no, I want my peace, bro. No, listen. Conflict is an opportunity to demonstrate emotional control and strengthen your leadership. Okay. It's really easy to lead. It's really easy to lead when everything's fine, right? When everything's like easy, it's super easy to lead then. But when the shit hits the fan, that's when you're really going to be tested, right? So you got to look at these opportunities to strengthen your leadership abilities, right? Think of it like going to the gym, It's one of the reasons why, I think working with someone like me, if you're having relationship issues, is good because I've been there. I've been through it, and I know what it takes to turn things around, right? Because I've been in your spot, right? But a lot of guys who have always, they're just naturals, and they've had effortless relationships their whole lives because they just naturally do this stuff. Like half the time they don't even know why what they're doing works, And so they're like, yeah, I'm not sure what I'm doing. I just know that everything's effortless with my girl, right? It's because they can't articulate why things work. But I've had to put in those reps. I've had to actively practice this shit, right? Avoid reacting emotionally to challenges or complaints. Okay. Instead, approach them with calm confidence. I say to guys, treat everything like a shit test, right? Treat it all like a shit test. So that's where like she says anything complainy or bitchy, you act indifferent or agree and amplify, right? Now, if it's something requires a more deeper conversation, then you switch to the LUCA model. But no matter what you do, you don't deer. Right? Reframing conflict as a way to deepen trust ensures productive communication and connection. Yeah. So the more you do this stuff, the more you set the tone and lead in these conversations, the less arguments and stuff are going to happen naturally over time, because your wife's going to trust your ability to lead. You know what I mean? Oh God. Oh God. Ray did it. Ray did the thing. Guys, Ray did the thing. Not to get off on the wrong foot, but this is too funny. Oh God. All right. Well, he did the thing. He sent a $30 super chat. So that gets for you dirty birdies out there.
Ladies rocking sandals, got them smiling all the while. Painted toes and heels, they make me weak. Feeling that funk groove, can't hardly speak. Ooh, yeah. To the ones who shout out, super chat on my screen. You keep the party rolling, you know what I mean. Thank you for supporting, keeping it real neat. We vibing together from our heads to our feet.
Hold on, I'm writing this out here. Rational what? Yeah, I know. I get it. That's weird, right? The foot fetish guys. Erkin, I just dropped it in the chat. So he says, what is dear? Defend, explain, apologize, and it's not dear as in DEAR. It is dear as in DEER. DEER. Right? Defend, explain, excuse, rationalize. That's what it is. Basically, you're justifying why you're doing what you're doing. You don't have to. You don't have to, right? The king doesn't have to explain himself to the subjects, right? All right. You guys like that foot fetish video? It's for you oddballs out there. All right. Well, that's chapter 3, guys, of Get Her to Fuck You Again, which is all about communication techniques that work. If you master those, you're going to really start changing the dynamic in your relationship. And for you guys that really want peace in your relationship, that's how you get it. Okay. You create your own peace by how you lead the relationship. Right? All right. Smash that like button because it's alpha to do that. All right. That's all I got, guys. Tune into the podcast on Friday. We're going over chapter 6 in AJ's book. Where is this at? We're going over chapter 6 in AJ's book, Psychology Emotion, which is a part of the Essential Skills of a Masculine Presence series, which, it's RP Thor's series that he's having a bunch of us in the space write books for. I've got one too. Psychology Paradigm is my book. Mine's the only one on Audible, though. So get mine on Audible. But tune into that. We're going over chapter 6, which is all about emotional durability in decision making. I often talk about how you need to be more decisive. You got to learn how to be more decisive in your relationships. They say successful men make decisions quickly and change their minds rarely, if ever. I learned that from Think and Grow Rich. Okay. So it behooves you to learn how to make decisions quickly. Yeah. Mr. Justice says foot fetishes are so weird. Yeah. Oh, Kamal says Paul's new book is on Audible. Get it? Yes. All my books are on Audible. And the last two, this one and Psychology Paradigm, actually narrated myself. RP Thor narrated my first book because I was like, I don't know how to do that. I'm not going to want to sit there and read my book for whatever. And then a lot of people complained about it, not because Thor did a bad job. Thor did an excellent job on it, but a lot of people seem to like when the author reads their own book. So I was like, all right, fine, I'll do that. So I read the last two. It's not easy putting an audiobook together, but I've managed to get 2 out. All right. That's all we got. Tune into the podcast Friday for AJ's book. Other than that, guys, I have new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So please like, subscribe, and hit those notifications so you know when I go live. It's best to come and watch this live, but if you can't, that's what the replays are for. Either way, drop a comment. If you're watching live, drop comments. If you're watching the replay, drop a comment below. If you're listening on Spotify, leave comments there too. That's good. Thanks for the super chats, guys. You foot fetish weirdos. Oh man. Follow me on social media. The links are in the description. Get on the email list. Get She's Made You Weak. It's all about the bantization process and how attraction erodes over time in relationships. And then if you really want to go in depth on that and turn things around in your relationship, get my latest book, Get Her to Fuck You Again. You can get that at books.comeonmanpod.com. That will redirect you to my Amazon authors page, and you can get all my books there. And they're all available on Amazon, Kindle, paperback, hardcover, and then also the audio version. Get in my beer club, beer.comeonmanpod.com. You not only just swap notes with guys, but I'm in there like on a daily basis. So I'm always dropping tips and stuff in there too. You basically get direct access to me. It's only $10 a month. And then if you guys need to turn your dead bedroom situation around, book a free call with me. Go to call.fixdeadbedrooms.com, and we'll start turning that dynamic around in your relationship. That's all we got. We will see you guys on Friday.
This has been the Come On Man podcast. Now, go out and get it.